Welcome to this explainer. Get ready because we are about to completely dismantle everything you thought you knew about how developing nations industrialize. Seriously, throw the textbook out the window. Today, we're exposing the brutal raw data behind India's manufacturing shift. Okay, let's dive right into this. When you picture a booming modern megacity, what do you see? You probably imagine giant smokestack corporations moving into town, right? We've all been kind of brainwashed by this image, but the real-world data is about to completely shatter that assumption. Yeah, wrong. Slap that assumption away. The corporate heavyweights are actually running away from urban centers as fast as they literally can. The big money is actively abandoning the city limits for the rural countryside. It's completely counterintuitive, isn't it? Get this shocking statistic. Back in 1989, the formal sector had 69% of its employment in cities. By 2005, that crashed down to just 57%. That's a massive 12-point drop. And remember, these are the giants producing over 80% of India's manufacturing output. They are systematically retreating. So this brings us to Section 1, Tale of Two Sectors. India's industrialization has essentially split into two diametrically opposed directions. It's like parallel universes. On one side, you have the organized corporate giants fleeing for cheap rural land. But on the other side, unorganized, small hustlers are desperately flooding into the cities. Giants move out, hustlers move in. It's a totally bizarre double migration. And this creates a wild statistical reality. The trends are completely diverging. Total urban employment is actually rising as cities pack with workers. But the high-value manufacturing output, that is trending downward. The real money has officially escaped to the countryside. Moving to Section 2, what drives the migration? Let's unpack the hidden forces here. Smart workers and paved roads act as massive magnets, pulling the informal sector in. Better education and solid infrastructure have this huge gravitational pull, ruthlessly sucking small-time hustlers right into the city limits. But there's also a brutal negative driver. High urban wage costs and insanely expensive real estate ruthlessly kick the big, land-hungry corporations out. I mean, they need vast land and cheap labor just to survive. For them, it's adapt, leave, or die. Now, here is the absolutely critical takeaway. The small hustlers make up a staggering 80% of all manufacturing jobs. Because their sheer numbers are just so massive, their migration into the city completely masks the corporate exodus. The illusion of a booming corporate city is actually built entirely on the backs of informal workers. Which leads us to Section 3, the efficiency question. You have to wonder, is this crazy two-way migration ruining productivity? Well, to find out, researchers built a massive data set. They tracked both sectors across hundreds of districts over 15 whole years. They strictly compared where businesses theoretically should be versus where they actually are, a really rigorous reality check. They were hunting for the efficiency gap, basically measuring how many businesses are sitting in the totally wrong geographical environment. Imagine a massive land-hungry factory squeezing into a dense, super expensive city center, or a tech startup hiding out in a remote village with no power. That kind of mismatch is brutal, costly inefficiency. But here is where the math blows your mind. The proof is clear. This bizarre double migration is actually closing the gap and making the economy more efficient. The skeptics were completely wrong. The shifting of giants to rural areas and hustlers to cities is actively fixing a broken spatial layout. So what's the secret sauce? When districts invest heavily in education and infrastructure, businesses naturally sort themselves into the perfect locations. It's like an invisible hand at work. Brain-heavy startups stay in the smart cities, and land-heavy factories move out to the connected rural outskirts. Better roads plus better brains equals incredibly smart economic layouts. But hold on. Section 4, flaws in the formula. We absolutely have to critique this academic lens. Pristine data rarely survives contact with the dirty real world, right? Even the researchers admit their data completely misses the dark side of this rural migration. We're talking under-the-table land deals and a total lack of regulatory oversight. Here is the stark reality. Many of these corporate giants aren't actually seeking efficiency at all. They're just seeking areas with weaker laws so they can pollute without paying penalties. Sometimes, moving to the countryside is really just a legally sanctioned escape act. Finally, Section 5, the real urban future. Listen to the massive takeaway here. If governments only build infrastructure to attract formal corporations, they are catering to a ghost town. You're literally building fancy roads for giant companies that are already packing their bags. You are rolling out the red carpet for people who aren't even coming. It's a massive waste of resources. We have to face the facts. The small, informal hustlers are the true engine of the modern city. We must give them the roads, the resources, and the education. Think about your own city for a second. Are we building for the corporate giants of yesterday or the hustlers of tomorrow? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. I'll see you next time.